And welcome back, guys. Luke Orsby here, and today we are here back on MLB The Show 24 franchise mode with the Boston Red Sox, and we are on draft day. Left it off on a cliffhanger, and I went ahead and threw some of these guys in the queue here. Some guys to keep an eye on went by position, and we have Manuel Peralta, Mike Stacy, Damon Suter, Fred Morse, Rusty Hollander, Bertman Rodriguez, Lee Bay, Travis Blake, Miles Traynor, Pablo Valentin, Marky Lees, Dwayne Young, Steven Vargas, Kyle Beck, Earl Dietz, Cliff Burst, Conrad Root, Claudio Feliz, Johnny Green, Alex Chassin, and Oscar Estrella. Now, Mr. Estrella is kind of the guy I think I'm eyeing in the first round. He's the one that's no ranked, that is 6th on our board, 92 potential. Chasen could also be interesting if he falls to us somewhere in that 87 to 93, kind of a guaranteed stud that is just pretty much green across the board except on those strikeouts, which is fine. Johnny Green, we didn't end up scouting really well, but just because it didn't look like he was falling to us, but if he somehow does, and some of these other guys I'm questionable on, we'll see. Feliz is another first round potential here, looking around that 72 to 94 range. Just good strikeouts per, good stamina, could be an extremely good left-handed pitcher. And then Conrad Root, I believe, is another guy we're looking at, 75 to 90. And I think Cliff Burrs was the last guy we were looking at in the first round. Then we have guys like Earl Dees, who's a little bit in the later rounds, Kyle Beck, and then Steven Vargas. First time seeing this. Cool, we have a little graphic to go along with. First overall pick goes to Gustavo Casto. We had him on a number 1 on our board as well. Looks like he was number 3 in the MLB, but not bad, not bad. Number 2 to the Cincinnati Reds, Damon Suter. No freaking chance. Suter went 2nd? Wow. I liked his power bat, but not that much. Jim Grady. He was another guy I avoided looking at due to his high draft rank. Nice. Colorado's probably getting a stud here. They go Johnny Green. Yeah, I didn't think he would fall, and he did not. Bill Bannister, another starting pitcher. I didn't look at him either. Had high potential here. Another reason, though. Fred McGill. Again, another reason, didn't look into him because I just knew he would not fall to us. Kurt Cabrera. I can't believe Suter is the only hitter to be taken off so far. That is insane. Juan Morales. Again, another guy we didn't even bother taking a look at. We're going to have an interesting choice here. I think if Alexi falls, Earl Dietz. Wow, I guess he was draft 10. I was hoping to be able to get him in the second round. There. Steven Vargas goes. That's quite disappointing. It's looking like a guy we could get pretty late in the draft. It's just pitchers, and I'm gonna continue with that. We have 4 minutes. Okay, so Urbrina, didn't know much about him. Could be a 99 overall potential. Here we have a lot of our guys here. Estrella we have ranked 6, but MLB doesn't even have him ranked. So I don't know. I don't know much about this game in this drafting. Does that mean something? We have Chasin, who honestly looks better in my opinion. Could be a safer bet. He was 9 on the MLB board, 7 on our board. You know, it'd be winning. It's only 1 lower, and he can just throw the ball. Home runs per 9, keep it in the ballpark. Just not striking him out. Feliz, again, would be pretty good for us here. 18 years old. He's a left-handed pitcher. Strikeouts per 9 much higher. He's not going to walk people either. Conrad Root, I'm excited. I was always excited about, but just didn't quite have that potential for me there. Cliff Burns, we can get later in the draft. So Kyle Beck also fell. So it is either looking like Feliz. Chasin, who's also got a higher, like these guys might be a bit better, and also look at their bonus demand, you know? How much money are we going to have to give them? Estrella's only going to want $260,000, but you know what? He might fall. So is it worth it? I don't know if these no-rank guys really fall or not, but someone could have scouted him heavy and been high on him too and just been a sleeper, but Chasen seems like the safer pick here. He can also be a higher overall most likely. I didn't think he was going to fall here, and I'm glad we looked into him. From the Dominican Republic, Alexi Chasen is our guy. The newest Boston Red Sox. If the potential says that he's an automatic stud, 22 years old, if he's 70, he could be here. He's going to be a lot of money, $5.4 million, but we will make it happen. For sure, we'll just have to go a little bit cheaper on these next couple rounds. Kyle Beck goes that next pick. I really can't wait to see what he does. Claudio Feliz goes to the Cub at 14. The other guy we were looking at. I'm telling you, if somehow Estrella can fall to this next pick, that might be insane. Virgil Drew, the Canadian, who is high on the injury list here. I was looking at him as well. He's just going to be a great fielder. Potential speed demon as well. Another outfielder off the board. Didn't take a look at them all because I didn't think he would make it down. But again, could be a speed guy. Can definitely hit the ball. Conrad Root goes at 18. Another guy I really like. Tom Lynn. Wow. Probably the best power bat in the draft. Another reason I just didn't want to take offense in the first round. Wow. Insane fielder potentially. I mean, oof. He's going to be a good player. John Allen from the freaking Orioles. Of course, of all teams, it's the Orioles. And I think the hitter that I want the most, I didn't talk about him yet, was Bertman Rodriguez. I was looking at 71 for us. He's a guy I definitely want to take a look at in the third round. Maybe even have to stretch on the second. There goes Cliff Burrs off the board at 36. That's brutal. I think the real question is who we're getting at 88. You know, would Bertman Rodriguez fall to 88? That's the scary thing. That's what we're going to have to test here. Who else would we take come 88? Maybe Mike Stacy. Speed demon, center fielder. This is getting tough. I don't know what to do. What other pitchers do we have here? We have Elise in the 80s. He could be a third round guy that we get if it falls. And it's our time to shine here. Dwayne Young could be another guy we look at the third round. But Oscar Estrella, high school, 19-year-old. But he's not ranked. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if this is a big deal. It just scares me. But also losing Bertman Rodriguez potentially is terrifying. So maybe I won't be able to get Bertman. Or maybe I can if I draft him now. I feel like it's a reach no matter what. If I'm going to take anybody right now at 49, it's going to be Miles Trainer out of New York, 18-year-old, who is wanting how much money? $1.6 million with a bonus demand as his main motivation. He can hit the ball. He can just flat out hit. 18 years old, even right now. I mean, it's looking like he could be ready to go. But we have some decent, guys that we can draft in those later rounds. Travis Blake I would be interested in, round 3 if he falls to us. If we can't get Bertman. I just don't know if I want to risk it with Estrella being so high on our board, which I'm curious on why as well. And I don't want to lose out on him. So Oscar Estrella, he is our next pick. There goes Miles Trainer, someone we were eyeing. That's a bummer. He was projected in the 50s. He went 50s. We need Travis Blake or Bertman Rodriguez to fall. Worst case, we have Mike Stacy at 88, which wouldn't be too bad. There's a name we were looking at one point. Pablo Valentin. I don't know if I had him on my board now that I think about it. But definitely someone I was eyeing, just didn't think I'd be able to get him. Travis Blake goes off the board. His projected 52 goes 70. Oh. Yeah, he would have been nice to have for sure. was really liking the potential of Blake. He was probably going to be a B or C potential guy, but I would have been surprised if he wasn't ready to come up at least by next year. Bertman's looking at 71 draft rank. There he goes. Bertman Rodriguez goes to 74. 14 picks away. And it looks like a lot of our pitchers went off the board as well, simming over that. Mark Elise just got drafted, which is kind of a shame. I think Mike Stacy might be our best pick here, but not ideal at the slightest. Our next pick's 118. Ooh. Would be a Lee Bay pickup. So all of our pitchers went off the board like that. I'm going to go Mike Stacy. Mike Stacy is going to be our guy here. It's time. It looks like Lee Bay went right before us. That's a shame. We did find Marimo Leo, who was 53 non-draft rank here. But it looks like Rusty Hollander or Fred Morse. Fred Morse has kind of fallen off. Well, I guess he was projected 127. I think I would have preferred Lee Bay at that 79 to 94. Yeah, 78 to 88. But we do have Rusty, and I don't know if I want to risk Rusty falling. Oh, these would be the next three guys that I want to draft, though. So one. Hopefully, we're going to make it happen. We're going to take Fred Morse. Pray to God. Pray to God that Rusty does not fall off. Let's take Fred here. Rusty Hollander, best name in the draft. He is ours. And there he is at that next pick. So there's a good chance that second round pick could have still been there. But Marimo Leo is probably a stud. Before we are able to sign or start the process of signing our draft picks, we do have to get through the All-Star game here. And another note, the trade deadline is coming up awfully soon. So we're not going to make any moves this episode. We're going to go in, play this All-Star game. We have no one in the Home Run Derby, unfortunately. Masataka Yoshida. Unfortunately, it looks like Devers fell off. Bregman looking to be a little bit more consistent here. And then, of course, Jensen is probably making the All-Star team. But here we are. Logan Webb going up against Garrett Cole. I just want to say I love these jerseys this year. Absolutely love them. I wanted a Sonny Gray American League so bad. But never pulled through with it, unfortunately. And honestly, I'm not a huge Edwin Diaz fan. Or Alexi Diaz fan. He was the only Reds All-Star, so I just struggled to get anything of that. But representing the Red Sox, we are going here. Also, I love this stadium. I know a lot of people are kind of indifferent about it or think it's kind of boring, but I'm a sole believer that it takes a couple years for personality to really come out and for teams to really make a ballpark their own. And I mean, you can even see that with Truist Park. I don't believe it's called Truist anymore, but not the point. Yoshida now has the chance to extend the lead after a fly ball to center field earlier. And there's 2 outs. Yeah, not quite. Oh well. Let's see here. He's got another one! Bottom of the 5th. I guess they don't replace much in this game. But we now have 2-1 here. Bobby Miller's pitching. Woo! There's no chance I was going to hit that. That was gas. That was 100 miles an hour, too. Damn. That's crazy. Good timing, though, on a 100 mile an hour fastball. That's unlike me. Whoa. We're going to have some problems, Mr. Miller. Damn, 103. I am going to get... Oh, man, he tries to throw a curveball at me. There's no chance. Yeah. Not a chance. Damn. Oh well, 0 for 3. But it looks like the American League still takes the All-Star game. Once again, there's kind of no surprise with that. Let's move on with this. Let's see what we got. So here we are after the All-Star game. Our guy, Brian Bayo, is back. Holy cow. So I went ahead and put Bayo back as the front runner of our rotation. And he was sitting at a 305 with a 1 whip in this, at least in this go around. I think we missed start technically compared to where he was at before I lost the save. But still, he's putting up phenomenal numbers and really is kind of carrying this team. We're keeping Crawford in the rotation, putting Johnny Cueto on the bench. And yeah, we still have a 2-game lead in the AL East, which is could really fall apart with this division. So it looks like the Orioles, I don't really think we have a chance. Unless we have some big, mess up job, I think we're going to be okay. So kind of know how this already works a little bit. So the lower guys like Fred Morse and Rusty Hollander, we're definitely want to take a look at making sure they have more interest. Mike Stacy was, kind of a shame that we ended up having to take him. I wish we kind of had more of a round 3 prep. Same with Fred Morse too. It wasn't my favorite pick that we did with these two guys. I really think they could be more in the 70s in the potential. But if they make it up to the 80s, they could really play a big part here. And Rusty Hollander, of course, kind of a lower overall, but he's 18, so it might be okay. Oscar Estrella and Chasen are luckily already pretty interested in us. And honestly, now the ranks drop. So we have Chasen ranked above Estrella, which was, of course, different come the ranking. So let's... Unknown, yeah. So let's go ahead and get Mike Stacy as priority number 1. Let's see if he'll sign this. And he did. Okay, so we're already off to a good start there. We don't have to worry about that. We're down to $3 million. We have $1 million want to go to Estrella, $500,000, and then some really low numbers here. So we should just be more than fine. We're gonna have Estrella as number 1, and we're gonna move. I think I think Hollander I like a little bit more, so we'll have him being scouted as well. But let's start this first series against the Dodgers right before the trade deadline. I think it's gonna be really interesting, and I think there's a lot of things we need to consider. I'm gonna make these trades realistic. I'm gonna trade them to teams that really might need them, and from what I was looking at, the only teams that I think could potentially want it is the Braves. Make them better. They have Iglesias right now who's not sitting very well, and then you might be able to find the Cubs. The Cubs might want them, and so might the Brewers, and so might the Pirates. So anyone in NL Central here, and then out of the teams here, it'd be the Padres, and I just don't think that's needed. Twins aren't needed. Astros really aren't needed either, and the Rangers can't afford it. Because I would have loved to work out a deal with the Rangers. But if we were to take a look at some of the prospects in these organizations, let's see here. So if we're going to look at the Braves, they have some really good starting pitchers right here. Owen Murphy, Cole Cooler, Drew Hackenberg. All these guys are good, and maybe there's an argument to get Smith Schuller. I doubt we can get Waldrop, but it might be a conversation that the Braves are willing to have. So if it's too much, let me know. I want to get something good out of Jensen, especially because he's providing such a stabilization to our bullpen, but I'm also okay trading him because we have Liam Hendricks, who could still hold down the fort just fine. And our bullpen's been performing really well, and this team is just overperforming, and I want to put a little bit of Luke Wars V, energy into this team and changes. So again, the Braves is a team that we could take a look at. The Cubs, of course, they have Pete Crow Armstrong that they're willing to move, but if he's not doing much better, I don't know if that's something I want. Potentially, we can get Cade Horton, Ben Brown, yeah. Chris Clark's a little old. Mostly just hitters here. Christian Hernandez. Owen Cassie could be, good bat to have. Matt Shaw, So they have a lot of top prospects here. James Triantos. Yeah. So Cubs have something pretty good. You know, the Brewers, I don't think they would want relief pitching necessarily with Devin Williams. So I wouldn't even worry about that. I don't even know who the Pirates closer is, but I think we're definitely eyeing the Braves here. So we'll get to that. We have 4 days. Let's just go through the games here. We have a game against Shohei Ohtani. Again, 2 games above the NL East. Let's have some fun. And we got Oscar Estrella, our number 2 pick, who was number 8 on our draft board. 78 to 93 potential. With his no ranked, he could definitely be a 78, and it could have been a reach. But it's a reach I was definitely interested in. After scouting Rusty Hollander a little bit more through this process, we know that, according to our scouts, could definitely be a B or A potential guy, which is huge, especially given his stats just looking a little on the underwhelming side here. But I stuck with my gut on his potential here. Mike Stacy, also kind of worrying me. He could be a little bit lower, but man, that speed is fun. It could be fun to work with. So we lost against the Dodgers. Pretty bad. Got pretty crushed by the Dodgers. Shohei kind of gave it to us. And we lost game number 2 to the Dodgers. But that's okay. Okay, we get swept by the Dodgers, and we are now tied for first place. I mean, that sounds about right. And, you know, this is why I'm really considering, you know, trading some of our guys. We are outperforming what we should be. Look at our ranks. And I'm not complaining that we're outperforming, but I just don't think we have the right roster to go on a run. I think Tristan Costas is a good piece. I think Devers is a great piece at 27 years old. He's just getting better. You know, it's Yoshida is 30, but he's still doing well. I mean, he's playing great ball. But we're missing some of these other pieces. Like, Von Grisham's finally finding his stuff. But, like, O'Neal needs to be upgraded. Rafaela, I don't know if he's a long-term piece. Trevor Story is definitely not a long-term piece. He's definitely going to, give us the home runs we need. But he'd be a great shortstop. But Jalen Duren's not simulating well, and he's 27 years old. And so, our pitching just does not look good, on paper. And I love that we're performing well. I love that our pitching's doing as well as they are, but I don't necessarily understand why, right? And it looks like our bullpen's starting to do a little bit worse. But, like, Hendricks is really coming to his own. Yeah, he's getting worse because he's 35 years old, but he could fill in the spot for now. And we get Mike Stacy. Perfect. Can't wait to see where he's at. Rusty Hollander definitely needs a little bit more interest. Going against Colorado, 44 and 56. Brian Bayo is going to be coming back. So let's hope he gets a win here. And he does. He breaks our losing streak from coming out of the break. Bayo, it's like he never missed any time. Complete game! 7 strikeouts in his first start back since being off on the IL for a couple months. That is incredible. Von Grissom with 4 RBIs for the game. You just can't make this up. Yeah. Marmoleo's really looking to be a good pick at that last round. Hollander, 82 to a 97 is what we're learning here. Games against the Yankees. 2 games back. Tough loss. Giolito being on the mound for that game. Not ideal. Cutter Crawford. Ugh. Now we are 3 games out. They've come back from a little bit down, but definitely not ideal in the slightest. He is going to be a fantastic pick, and I want him. And we can. He is now officially a Red Sox. Oh, yes. Let's get this last game. I want to take at least one, please. Oh, he's just out for a few days. That's more than fine. Keep him active. And we get swept by the Yankees. Brutal. Brian Bayo, let's see if he can keep this going. Not quite. But 5 innings, 3-run baseball, still not too bad. Definitely not ideal, though. And we are now on another 4-game lose streak after breaking up another 4-game lose streak with 2 wins. 58%, 82 to 97. I love it. There we go. So we got Fred Morse. All we have left is Rusty Hollander. He's getting 6 interest per 2 days. Let's keep pushing it down. And we're going to be at the trade deadline after this. So we have made it to the trade deadline on a 5-game losing streak. Oh. And we have lost 9 of our last 11. So with that, it's put us 5 games out of first place against the Yankees. But we are still technically a part of the wild card here. But I don't know. When we're looking at team stats here, batting average, we're falling to 22nd. Hits, bottom half of the league. Home runs, we're 9th in home runs, so that's huge. So I mean, when Devers is hitting 27 homers, 74 RBIs, with an 897 OPS, that's nothing to complain about. We got to put Tristan Casas back in the lineup here because he just got reactivated. And then so Casas is 19 homers, 50 RBIs, 837. He could be doing a bit better, but it's nothing too bad. Yeah. Even Yoshida now has 21 homers. Trevor Story's still sitting at 13 there. Tyler O'Neill, 15 and 51. But we are not, a team that's going to do fantastic in October. It's just not going to happen. Pitching rotation, Bayo's still doing great. Whitlock is still doing not too bad at all. Lucas Giolito's he's closed himself in. Started focusing, he's performing a lot better. Cutter Crawford's doing great in the rotation. And then Tanner Houck is another kind of problem. Johnny Cueto's looking pretty okay. Our bullpen's fine. Isaiah Campbell's a bit iffy, but everyone else, Winkowski, since bringing him up in 26 innings, he is doing fantastic. This Ohio boy. Liam Hendricks still pitching great. And then Jensen, again, he is going to be the big trade piece. And we might trade more. Maybe we can find a Tanner Houck trade, or, I don't know who we trade in offense, right? Maybe we trade Duran. Maybe Tyler O'Neill. We only have him for 1 year, and he's kind of the perfect guy that a contending team would want, He can come off the bench and hit some homers. So that's really what this is going to come down to. With that is going to be the episode. Didn't get very far, but, we jumped a lot in that last episode. And we kind of just cruised through this signing period and All-Star game, which unfortunately did not go Yoshida's way. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We're going to start this next episode off with what we're going to do with the trade. But let me know what you think. I think I'm kind of excited on getting rid of some of these guys that could be valuable. We're 2-8 in our last 10. Worst in the division. And I don't see it getting much better. So let's focus on the future. Especially when we have guys like Blaze Jordan hitting 288. He's got good potential, but he is hitting well. Nick York is just getting better and better. Kyle Teal is getting better and better. Then we have guys like Marcelo Mayer who's ready to come up, and I think he could. He's a potential 65 overall. And then we have guys like Roman Anthony, who for some reason is on the bench. But we have him, right? And I think we just have so much going for us, but we need more depth. And we really need to kind of be on our own timeline here and not rush things, because we're in no position. We're in a position to enjoy it, but not savor it. So, but yeah, I'll leave it off on that note. Thank you guys for watching so much. I appreciate all the love that I'm getting on this series. I'm having so much fun. Baseball's back, and I cannot be any happier. So, thanks for watching. Later, guys.